Matt, so good to see you. I was really excited to chat today because I found this interesting article. Take a look at this. More older adults are unretiring to keep up with the cost of living. A new survey from AARP shows more retirees are heading back to work. In the past 6 months, 7% of retirees have re-entered the labor force. What does this increase tell you about how fragile many retirement plans actually are?
Aaron, I think it points out two things. Exactly what you said. Many plans are fragile, but I think it also points out that there's probably a lot of people out there that really don't have much of a plan. If your
Mhm.
plan is my Social Security income is going to be, $4 grand a month, and my bills are $4 grand a month on day one, that's not a plan.
Mhm.
You're heading down a road where inflation will very quickly eat up your purchasing power, even though there's COLAs on Social Security. The
Mhm.
COLAs on Social Security historically are slightly short of real cost of living. So over
Absolutely.
time, you're going down a bad road.
I'm so glad you brought that up because that's my next question. So, listen to this. Nearly half of unretirees, 48%, say they return to work because of financial necessity, and 41% say daily living costs were their biggest motivation. So, how do you stress test retirement income plans to account for inflation?
Every stress test we do includes inflation and also market declines, because there's a
Mm,
big difference when you factor in market declines. When you're taking out money on a down market and you're not in a diversified portfolio, so in other words, you drop too much, that can have a dramatic impact on how long your money is going to last. And as we're older, we're more concerned about the return of our money than the return on our money. We want to make sure we do not outlive our money. And that's an important factor in building these projections.
mhm. So, that's kind of the financial side. Let's talk a little bit more about the emotional side. 15% who unretired said boredom was the main reason. 14% said it was to stay active. How does choosing to return to work change a client's income plan and withdrawal strategy?
Well, on that note, I just want to point out I've had two clients I think of. I know them both very well. One retired to something, and
Mhm.
they just had the best, still having the best retirement ever. Just great people. The other great people as well, but they just retired from work,
Right.
right?
Right.
And that's a different stage. And
Mhm.
you clearly see without getting that one is better than the other. You want
Mhm.
to make sure you retire to something,
Mhm.
and at the same time, working a little bit. There's nothing wrong with going from full time to part time and easing into retirement so you can gauge it better and gauge it from day to day instead of just cold turkey.
Right. I think they're calling it like a hybrid retirement now. And you had mentioned offline too that that can, of course, help with claiming Social Security.
Exactly. Yeah. If we can just push out Social Security claiming a little bit longer, every year you wait to turn it on, it goes up 8% up to age
Mhm.
70. So it's a big factor. You want to make sure that you do have a plan that is going
Right.
to work throughout various market cycles.
All right, I have one more stat to throw at you. The survey also found 67% of older workers say it would be difficult to find a new job today, citing age discrimination and health issues. From a planning perspective, how dangerous is it for retirees to assume they can simply go back to work if markets fall or expenses rise?
That is not a good assumption to make, and I would not make that assumption, as we can see clearly, even with this article in the job market right now. Job markets change, but reality is you got to be prepared for the worst scenario.
Mhm,
And the worst scenario is they're not hiring.
mhm.
So instead of just quitting and going cold turkey, maybe take some vacation time, take a month off, and then come back and work part time. If you come back to the same job, that's going to be easier than quitting, coming back six months later and trying to find a whole new job.
Right,
But
right.
the big thing, Aaron, as you know, is to have a plan, have an income plan that's going to work throughout various market cycles, and
Of
that's what a good advisor is going to help you with.
Yes. And an income plan is so much different than just a magic number that we feel like we can sock away in our bank. So, Matt, again, having that income plan and stress testing it, another important component. If somebody would like to sit down with you and create that plan, what's the best way to reach you?
Just give us a call at 425-256-3105 or email me at mberkland@choosevault.com.
Great. Matt, thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.